start with Mr. Dhiman first. Mr. Dhiman, as I mentioned, is with NHPC. He's working as the general manager there, has more than 25 years of experience in O&M of hydropower stations. He's presently providing technical support to 6 hydropower stations, aggregating to 2,400 megawatt of capacity. Mr. Dhiman has a BTech in Mechanical Engineering from the College of Engineering, Trivandrum. Mr. Dhiman.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon to all. Now from the transmission distribution, we are into the generation side. Thanks Powerline for the opportunity. And as already mentioned, I'm from NHPC. And we have also ventured into the IT-OT interface. We are far spread, as can be seen, that we are from Ladakh to Northeast. We have got 21 hydropower stations running. It's around 6.5 gigawatt. And we are working on the biggest hydropower station in the country, that's the Subansiri 2000 megawatt, which will be coming up. So, and we'll be adding up many more. They are in the pipeline. So we are expanding at a very fast pace. So when we look at it, the initiative which we have taken of integrating our IT and OT to get the data, this is how we are. Like most of the people who have a know-how into hydros, we are mostly RORs. We do not RORs with small poundage. So what we are saying is we do not have huge poundages. They are small RORs. We stop the water, use the water, and let it go again. So that's how the biggest plant as of now we have is a 800 megawatt, which is in Himachal, Parvati 2. And the smallest is in Ladakh, that's a 44. We have got most of our are Francis, few Peltons and Kaplans. Most of our power stations, the highest capacity is in Himachal. There's around 2.5 gigawatt. We are in J&K also, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, West Bengal, Manipur. We have ventured into solar and wind also, and we are thinking of PSPs as of now. This is our air-wise capacity addition. So we are 6.5 and 2025. We have put in 50 years, and we are a Navratna company. We normally generate close to 25 BU. So this is what we have been doing, but with the addition of Subansiri and all, Subansiri and other 4-5 more projects will be close to say 35 billion units. What we have done is, as I've already told you, we are far spread. So being far spread and running around 21 hydropower stations, and then again adding a few more, what is required now by us is that we should have a watch on all of these power stations. There are some critical parameters which we have decided, and for those critical parameters, we already have those sensors. So at each of the power station in the control room, the person who has the know-how and the knowledge of the machine which is running is the operator at the power station. So we are talking about 2 to 3 persons, most of them 3 persons who have a know-how of that machines which are working in the power station. So the rest of the people do not have the know-how or how the machine is working. So what we have done is now we have created a pool of experts who are at our corporate office. So now what we want now, so those people are more than these 3 people who are operating these plants, the know-how of the machine should be visible to the people who are at the corporate control room also. How does it help? It helps in whenever there are breakdowns, you can respond better, in a better way. First is whatever the method you choose to, in case of a breakdown, what is the methodology you choose, that should be right. The once that is right, your asset will be saved. In case of, say, if you have got a breaker, if you do not know from where the breaker, there's a fault in the breaker and you do not know from where it has come, and you again operate the breaker, you'll have your asset damaged. So what you want, first of all, that methodology which is followed in case of a breakdown should be right. So how it will be, once you pool in your resources, so you have got a workforce, you have got experts who are at the corporate office. So those people should have a know-how why the breakdown has taken place. So that's why we have installed the real-time monitoring. In the real-time monitoring, and then we have, with the real-time monitoring, we have an ERP, that is the SAP. This is the latest version. S4HANA gives you the data on your mobile. So you on the go, you can feed everything. And in case anybody wants information, that's also on the go on the mobile. And we have got implemented AGC is required. So that's also done. In the real-time monitoring, what we have done. What happens normally is, it's of OSI Soft Pi, now Aviva Pi, and it is across over 21 hydropower stations. And we are monitoring, we are bringing all the data to our corporate control room. And what we had done in this, that we had opened up all our SCADAs, we had and brought all those around 21 hydropower stations. There are 800 to 1,000 tags in a SCADA. So we have brought all of those tags to our corporate control room. How it helps? What it does is, in case of an alarm, in case of these faults, you can have all those events which have taken place. There are plus station-wise consolidated dashboards are there, which in my next slides I will show you. And what the best thing it does is it's a real-time data acquisition. Now the people who are there, if you have worked in underground powerhouses, is that it's very dynamic. And in case of any fault, the person over there, it takes time for him to realize what has actually happened, because there are a lot of things which are moving. So what happens in case of fault? Everybody who has to take an action, the expert pool, they give a call to those people who are manning it. So will he respond to those calls, or will he again bring back the system on load? So what happens in the case of a real-time monitoring? All those people who are the operators, the 2 or 3 of them, they will be, they'll be concentrating on reviving the machines, other than providing the information. What was the pad temperature? How much was the flow? How was the guide wind position? All those informations, if he keeps on providing those information, the crucial time is lost. So in case of RTM, all that data is available to those experts. So those experts might be one step ahead of those operators, because they have all the data along with them, and they can, they can guide them. That's what we are doing now. They guide them how to bring back the systems. So that's the best thing to do. The other thing which these RTMs has done is, the veracity of these data is not questioned now. What used to happen at our power stations was, we had logbooks at each and every floor. So the temperature data, the pressures, the flows, and everything was done at the NHR. NHR means at 10 o'clock the person will get up, take a reading, and he'll come back. 11 o'clock he goes, takes a reading, and come back. So what has happened? You have got 24 readings. And from then 24 readings, the maximum reading is jotted. That comes in our daily generation reports. So in between the 10 hours and 11 hours, the megawatt has increased, the voltage has increased, the frequency has increased, the guidance position has changed, we'll never able to know. What these real-time monitoring has done is that we do not have the NHR reading now. From 10 to 10:59:59, the maximum which has been recorded by the SCADA is captured by the real-time monitoring. And then it comes to us. So now when you come to know that this is such rich, this data is, so what you've been collecting for last 2 to 3 decades doesn't have any significance at all. This just happened in one of the power stations. It's a Kaplan, 31.2 megawatt, normally runs at around 33. That day it ran at around 37 megawatt. So we said, your plant megawatt today was 37 maximum for this unit. He questioned it. No, it's not possible. I said, you look at your SCADA. The SCADA has put it through the RT. So he went through the SCADA. He said, yes, the frequency was low, and 37 megawatt was recorded. So the veracity of that data cannot be questioned. Now, what can be questioned? A sensor can be questioned. So if there is some malfunction of the sensor, so if the individual is taking up that data, then he will also record the same from the sensor, and what the same is being recorded by the RTM. So then you can look at what has happened to the sensor. One more incident happened with them with one of our transformers at one of our power stations, remote power stations. The transformer, there was a breakdown, and then the expert team was formed. They said, okay, you bring your logs. So we brought them 5-year logs. So he went through all those logs. He said, I think this doesn't hold good. This 40 at this point and this 40 throughout the 8-hour shift. It's not possible. So I don't think these data are reliable. So see, for 5-year logs were of no significance at all. So whatever manual entries were done of no significance. So what we are trying at NHPC is there will not be any manual entry at all. No manual entry at all. Whatever will come through SCADAs, through RTM and to us. So that's what we are trying. And plus the experts at our corporate control room will have the data at real time. And in case of a tripping, any breakdowns, they can support the people who are at the operator level. And the operator person does not have to provide information to each and every person who rings them up, because it becomes very confusing the time the machine trips. This is how the dashboards of the real-time monitoring are. As you can see, these are all our machines, and this is how it is. So if I click on any one of them, say Chamera 3, Seva 2, wherever I click, I can have at that point of time, the megawatt at which it is running, what is the unit-wise megawatts, what is the energy generation till now, what was this for the month, for the year, what is the plant availability factors, what are the voltages, what is the reservoir level. This is very critical in case of hydros nowadays. So you should have a window of what is the status of the dam. It has become very critical. Then the inflows also. This is for the plant as such. Then you can have pictorial view, you can have vibrations, you can have temperatures, everything is visible. So this visibility, this visibility gives the confidence to the people at the corporate office that whatever is running at the project site is right. And then as for Seva 2, this is one of the power stations in J&K. So these have got 4 lines. So what is the status of the lines? How much is the megawatts? What is the status of the unit? So then you have got what are the critical parameters. So what is the status of those parameters? You click on one of them. So you can have these graphs. So what happens in case of any tripping? Any tripping takes place. The person says, what was the temperature a month back, a week back, 1 year back? So what happens is any data which is, you can see here, you double click on that. At that point itself, you will have the information of one day back, 1 month, week back, month back, year back. Otherwise, what is happening, what has been happening is, you tell the person, give me the data 1 year back, he'll go take out the logbook from the Almera, then it brings it back. So now that is a gap of 20-25, half an hour to get that data. Again, if you want for the unit itself, all those positions, everything will be available for the unit also. Similarly, as I told you, you can have, again, available in SCADAs also, that you create a basket, and in the basket you can have all temperature, vibrations, your megawatt, frequencies, everything you can compare, and you can take a decision on that. So, as of now, we have just started this journey. We have not put any AI and tools on this. What we are doing now is, first of all, we will collect the data. We know what are the pain areas is, and what we have thought of right now is, we are developing is a band for every temperature. Every indicator will create a band. Whenever there's a change in that indicator, there will be a notification. Similarly, what we have done, we used to make a daily generation report for our all our 21 hydropower stations used to be, that's a MIS, that's we put to the management. So how it should used to be in the older ERP was, everything was manually, it was entered. Now what has happened is, now we are creating a DGR, daily generation report, for 21 hydro stations without a single manual entry. Not a single manual entry goes into it. Otherwise, we used to have one person specifically in the night to make those DGRs. So what we have done now, that's our goal now. Not every entry has to be through RTM, no manual entries, and the daily generation reports, everything has to come through your this RTMs. There should not be any manual entries. So this has been, this has given us a very good tool in case of the RTMs, every data which comes through RTMs, as you can see, the RTM fixes it, it uploads everything, and you can have the DGR at night, 12 o'clock, the DGR, the daily generation report is ready for the this thing. Another thing which has already been talked about as that we had a complaint register in which the operation people used to write down whatever the complaint is. Now what we have done, we have come up with again, as already said, for every equipment we have a code, we have a barcode, you can scan it. Again, there are drop downs, what type of breakdown it is. And if you want to put a video or a photograph, that can also be put. So now the complaint has got every data in it, and then it is pushed to the group which is dealing with that equipment. So this is a very good thing which we have started. So what we are trying is getting away with all those registers. This is how every barcode looks like for each and every equipment. And plus, again, the notification in case of this tripping, we have already tabulated, that is already done by Power Grid. They have got 47 faults. Similarly, whenever there's a tripping, so it will be, notification will be created, and in the SAP, it will be pushed to the maintenance group. Plus, we have already working on the AGC part of this, the automatic generation control. As you already know, it is connected to the RLDCs. Whenever there's a change in the frequencies, the plants are given command straight away by the user. At the control room cannot, there's no interference in between. So whatever commands come, they come from the LDCs, and the machines, either they are the loaded or they are the load is decreased or load is increased, depending on that. This is for those power stations, hydro power stations, which have got a storage capacity. It's not for the ROR, which do not have a storage capacity. So automatic generation control is there. We are working on that also. And what we are looking at is one more thing which we are doing is that whenever there is a fault in any of the power stations, we are time to bring the DR and the EL to the corporate control room takes a lot of time, because it has to be downloaded, then sent to the corporate control room. Because we have a SOP that if at 400 kV level, anything, there's a tripping, the person will not again charge it unless and until the pool of experts, they give him a go ahead. So we had come across that there is a lot of time bringing that DR and EL to the corporate control room. So we are now, again, what we are doing is that we have done the LOA, the letter of award already placed. So what we'll be doing is we'll be bringing the DR and EL in case of any tripping straight away to the corporate control room. Then the experts, we have got a pool of experts, it will be available to them, and whatever suggestions they have to give regarding energizing the system again, that will be done. Similarly, we are doing that for the transformers also, the online DGA we want to bring. So what we are trying is that on this PI system which we have, we bring all the platforms which we have, be it DGA, be it all those relays, be it partial discharge. So everything will be brought, because every equipment we have mapped to that equipment, we'll put all these data in that, so that we have a know-how how the systems are working. It is a process of asset management, just a nascent stage of that. That's how we are thinking of working on it. The issues which we face normally is the communication. This we face this now because there were a lot of floods in Himachal, floods in Uttarakhand. So first thing goes is the mobiles, they are out of the system. Second thing which goes are, we have got VSATs also. We have got Inmarsats also. Nothing works. Everything goes blank. So this is a problem area which we have, because we are very remote areas, and this is a very normal thing for us, the flash floods and cloud bursts. So what we are thinking is, like, we are thinking that what Power Grid is providing us OPGW connections. That is the only thing which is working. So we have tying up with our pipe people, so we can have a chat box on that OPGW system, so that we can chat with them. Otherwise, we cannot talk. VoIP works on that, and the chat box we can. Otherwise, in Inmarsat, the VSAT, nothing works. So this is the main challenge we face in the hydropower plant. That's all my thoughts on this. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mr. Dhiman. We'll move on to the next presentation, which is by Mr. Bhatt. Mr. Bhatt is Associate CISO and Deputy Engineer at GSECL. He has nearly 16 years of experience in power generation, instrumentation, and control systems. Currently, he's handling power trading, thermal power plant flexibilization, and is also leading centralized real-time performance monitoring system. He has a Bachelor of Engineering in Instrumentation and Control and a Diploma in Instrumentation and Control.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today at this 24th annual conference on IT/OT in power sector. Today, I feel privileged to share our experience and insights on a topic that's very close to my heart and crucial for the future of the power sector, that is bridging information technology and operation technology, obviously. First, I'll introduce our company, GSECL, Gujarat State Electricity Corporation Limited, is one of the leading state-owned generation company in India. We have total installed capacity of 7,700 megawatt spread across a balanced and diverse portfolio of coal-based plants, lignite and gas-based and hydro, and importantly, renewable energy already accounting for more than 1,000 megawatts. This diversity gives us the strength to meet Gujarat's growing electricity demand while also aligning with the national vision of a sustainable low-carbon future. But in today's rapidly evolving environment, achieving this mission is becoming more complex. Renewable energy penetration is rising, demand patterns are changing, and expectations from regulators and consumers are growing. In power generation, reliability begins with availability. For each and every generation power plant, we must maximize our PAF, plant availability factor. And it has been always our top priority, because if plant isn't available, serves the grid, nothing else matters. Maintaining high availability is not without its challenges. Plant often face unplanned outages caused by the equipment stress, growing O&M requirements, AOH, COH, increasing operational complexity. This is where automation becomes a game changer. By automating monitoring, diagnostic, and control function, we can detect early warning signs of equipment issues, reduce unplanned breakdowns, sustain consistently high availability for the grid. In short, while availability forms the foundation of reliability, then automation is the enabler that helps the safeguard and maximize it. Further, we are changing with the grid demand. Flexible operation is now in demand for grid. Let's talk experience in very real ways. The grid we saw today is very different from the one we knew 10 years ago or 15 years ago. With the rapid rise of solar and wind penetration, grid now expects flexibility from our plants like never before. So what does that actually look like? For example, at our 800 megawatt plant, we often see our schedules revised 10 to 15 times during peak hours, sometimes even more. Each change means we ramp up or ramp down to help stabilize the grid in real time. This is new reality. Our plants are no longer just steady baseload providers. They have become the balancing partners for renewable energy. We step in when the sun sets or when the wind suddenly drops to keep the grid stable. But of course, the flexibility comes at a cost. Frequent cycling puts thermal stress on boilers and turbines. O&M cost climbs as equipment wears faster. And when we operate away from optimal load, efficiency obviously drops. We end up burning the more fuel to produce less output. The grid demands flexibility, but it's not without consequences. The real challenge for us is how do we continue adapting to these new expectations while protecting reliability, efficiency, and the long-term health of our assets. Now, after looking at the demands of flexibility, the next question is how do we actually manage it in sustainable way? If you walk into any modern power plant, one thing everyone says, data is everywhere. Every sensor, every meter, every control system is producing information around the clock. But there is a challenge. Much of that data remains locked in silos. And it's never turned into insights we can use in real time. This is exactly where IT/OT integration makes the difference. By bringing together operational technology, the system that run our plants with information technology, the digital tools that analyze and connect, we can unlock the real value of data, and the benefits are very real. Operators get insight exactly when they need them, not hours or days after. In previous scenario, we have seen the efficiency persons collect the data and we get the reports day after tomorrow or weekly or something like that. But in the present time, we can get it in real time. Faster response to grid demands. When schedule changes, IT/OT convergence allows us to ramp or balance renewable quickly with confidence. High availability, we can keep still delivering the flexibility the grid demands. At its core, IT/OT is about helping our plants think smarter, act faster, and stay reliable. Because when the grid calls, we need to be ready. When we talk about IT/OT integration, it's not just about connecting systems. It's about what we can actually do once they are connected. And that's where predictive analytics, digital twins come into play. Think of digital twin as a living, breathing replica of our plants. It's not just a replica or simulator. It's a real-time data we can get. It mirrors what's happening in real time. So you can see not just how our plant is performing right now, but also predict how it will perform by next week or maybe even a year after. Add to that AI and advanced analytics, we have tools to transform and operate. We can move to predictive maintenance, catching issues before they become failures. Instead of reacting after the fact, we can perform benchmarking, comparing units across the fleet, and also lifting the performance of the rest. We can optimize the fuel consumption and emissions, which means saving money while also reducing the carbon footprint. At the heart of this is one powerful shift. AI enables us to move from data to decision. No more drawing in numbers and reports. Instead, we get clear insights that help us to act. This is not just technology, it's a new way of thinking about power generation, proactive, intelligent, and sustainable. Cybersecurity in the power sector isn't optional, it's crucial. Power plants are prime targets and a single breach can threaten both safety and reliability. As IT and OT converge, we gain efficiency, but we also widen the attack surface. Global incidents prove the risk is real, not theoretical. That's why regulators mandate compliance through IEC 62443. The message is clear: cybersecurity equals reliability, trust, and grid stability. And without it, the grid cannot function. Think of our OT cybersecurity like layers of shield protecting a fortress. Each layer stops a different type of threat, and together they keep us safe. Segregation of IT and OT network. We don't just leave OT system exposed. By keeping IT and OT separate with firewalls, DMZs, it's like having separate doors for visitors and staff. You control who goes where. Role-based access. Not everyone should have the keys to every door. We give access based on roles and require MFA. That way, only the right people can touch critical system. Patch and update management. Every device, every controller, every SCADA needs regular update. Imagine fixing leaks in the roof before the storm hits. That's what patching does for OT. Real-time monitoring, we continuously monitor our system with tools like SIEM, that is Security Information and Event Management, and IDS. If something unusual happens, like a door opening unexpectedly, we spot it immediately. Incidents response plan. Even with all these protection, things can go wrong. That's why we have a plan ready to act like firefighters. Training and awareness is the most critical. Technology alone isn't enough. Operators need to recognize threats like spotting a suspicious ML or strange system behavior. Awareness is our human firewall. Compliance and audits, we should check our system against standards like IEC 62443 as recommended by CEA. Compliance isn't just paperwork, it's proof that our shields are actually working. Let me walk you through what we are doing at GSECL to make operations smarter, safer, more resilient. CRPMS, centralized real-time performance monitoring system we are implementing that gives fleet-wide visibility. Imagine seeing every unit's performance in real time on a single dashboard. It allows us to act proactively, not just react to problems. Pilot-based, AI-based predictive system also we are planning for 500 mega. We are about to start in maybe 2 to 3 months. It is expected to give predictive insights, helps detect fault before they happen, ultimately enhance reliability. This is the kind of forward-looking approach for keeping our plants in safe hands. OT cybersecurity assessment with IT and OT coming together, vulnerabilities increase. Power plants are critical infrastructure, so breaches doesn't just impact data. They affect safety, reliability, and even the economy. That's why compliance with standards is not just formality, but it's essential. Adaptive tuning and closed-loop efficiency is our initial phase where the legacy systems are renovated with the DCS. Now DCS we are planning for centralized monitoring, and from centralized monitoring to the AI-based system. So it all starts with that. So this brings to us the core of our vision: digital, flexible, and secure power plant. The future isn't far away. It's already here. Our challenge is simple but profound. Are we ready to reimagine power plants as digital, intelligent, and cybersecure ecosystem? We have the technology, the navigators, and the insights. Now it's about scaling, integrating, and securing these innovations across our fleet, creating power plants that are smarter, safer, and more resilient than ever before. The question is not if we move forward, but how quickly and effectively we can embrace this future. So, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bhatt, for your presentation. Now we'll move on to the last presentation for the generation track. And in this, we'll hear from Mr. Sudip Singh. He is Assistant Engineer at UPRVUNL. Mr. Singh brings over 16 years of diverse experience, and this is in the areas of entrepreneurship, information technology, power plant operation, and ERP. He spent 3 years in software development at Accenture, where he gained deep expertise in enterprise-grade software systems. Mr. Singh is a computer science engineer by qualification.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sudip Singh, as you already received my introduction. I am from UPRVUNL. I'll make this presentation quick because for the last 2 days, we have already heard a lot about the IT-OT integration, what is IT systems, what are OT systems, and we've also deep dived into cybersecurity aspects of things. So I'll just talk on the 3 tracks, what our organization is doing, where we are, and how we are taking cybersecurity initiatives in our organization. So UPRVUNL was established in 1980 as a state-owned power generation utility, and we have an operating capacity of more than 6,000 megawatt in thermal. And we are committed to reliability, efficiency, and clean energy transitions. So clean energy transitions, like we have, it's very a normal standard. We have FGDs and all those things. We are actively embracing digital transformation in the generation sector. So our experience in IT, OT, and AI adoption. So far we have, we were one of the first, we really implemented SCADA and DCS systems for plant control quite early. And we have been taking IT-OT integration initiatives since 2018. We are deploying real-time monitoring systems across major thermal plants. And we are also piloting AI-based predictive maintenance solutions at unparalleled thermal power stations. So earlier we had real-time monitoring systems at the plant level. Now we are bringing it at centralized level. So we are creating centralized monitoring systems. So the data from plant, and we'll collect all the data from the plant, the analytics, we'll apply analytics on it, and we'll present a dashboard to our management for decision making. And for that, we have around 15 insights that we require from our CMS that we're implementing, centralized monitoring system. So the first one is real-time monitoring and optimization. Then we are going for centralized data management, advanced predictive analytics and diagnostics, combined combustion optimization and emission control, thermal stress and fatigue monitoring, key performance indicators, dashboarding and reporting, alerts and notifications, scalability and future integration, integration readiness, cybersecurity, data protection, regulatory compliance and reporting, operational benchmark and comparison, user-centric design, energy dispatch optimization, and finally, lifecycle maintenance and cost management. So our key goal here is we should be able to make informed decisions based on plant data, and for implementing this, we need to assess how much we are ready for it. What is our readiness in terms of not only IT-OT integration, but also in terms of cybersecurity. And we need customized data based on role-based and dashboards on Tableau, because, for example, if we are presenting predictive analytics data to our management, they're only interested in data which is concise so that they can make informed decisions on that. So the use cases: conditional-based monitoring, AI-powered predictive maintenance, energy efficiency optimization, and workforce management. And the relevant and promising technologies: AI/ML, predictive maintenance, fault detection, IoT equipment health, ambient monitoring, digital twins, virtual modeling of plant operations, edge computing, blockchain. And industry-wide trends: we are growing shift to digital twins for simulation and training, increased adoption of cloud-based analytics platform, use of augmented reality for maintenance and remote inspections, and cyber security emerging as a critical investment area. So let me get into a little bit, like if we talk about industry-wide trends, for example, digital twins, they are obviously because when we are implementing any solution for which we are pulling data from OT, so it always has to be one way. We need to feed the OT data to a server from which we will pull the data and perform our analytics. And when we are upgrading systems, for example, we need to do some patch management or upgrade our systems. So we need to do simulations on the digital twin that we'll be creating, right? And cybersecurity emerging as a critical investment area. The key issues and challenges: technical challenges, legacy systems not easily compatible with modern IT solutions, interfacing proprietary OT systems with open IT platforms, data integrity and latency issues in high-load scenarios, and organizational and financial barriers, resistance to change from traditional operation teams, limited availability of skilled IT/OT professionals, budgetary constraint for full-scale digital transformation, and data privacy, cybersecurity concerns, and AI deployment. So if you look at this point, that limited availability of skilled IT/OT professionals. So we have professionals who are expert in their IT field, and then we have experts who are in OT field. But we have very scarce resources who are skilled in both IT and OT. And if you talk from a cybersecurity point of view, then the purview of IT professionals is different from OT professionals, because for IT, it is more about availability, right? No. Availability or confidentiality? Confidentiality. They go for confidentiality, then integrity, and then availability. Whereas for OT professionals, it is about availability first, then integrity and confidentiality. So if we go about telling IT guys go about telling OT guys, we need this data. So the first concern, like they will be like, okay, so you will be not controlling anything. No, we have to convince them the data will only flow from your side to our side. There will be no controlling, no whatsoever. There will be complete network segregation. But we need to really convince them. Right. And the OT systems were initially not really designed too much for security purpose, because security point of view, because they were always segregated. And now, since we are integrating, it is this time we are now conscious about cybersecurity threats, given the war-like scenarios, and various state-sponsored actors are also coming into picture. And for that, we need to ensure that we have reliable systems. We have digital twin to do the testings and all. We have to upgrade our protocols. We have definitely we have cybersecurity protocols, and I'm not sure whether we have really implemented the latest ones. I think we'll still be stuck to maybe IEC 882. That's for ICS, and maybe even not that. And all these protocols, irrespective of anything, are vulnerable, because you cannot have a watertight cybersecurity at all, right? So let's hope that we will soon be achieving latest, like we have on which one is that? AEC 62443, I guess. Yeah. So that is the latest one. So these are extremely essential. And why I'm talking about this is because the kind of political scenarios we have, geopolitical tensions. I was listening to many speakers for the past 2 days, and we have not really delved on certain risks or certain threats that will emerge in the future. And I was quite surprised we didn't talk about it. Like, if you talk about security, we have a very simple example. We use RSA, right? We have seen RSA tokens in our OT systems, but are they also secure? No. Are we having RSA? Yeah, we do. RSA systems, we do have RSAs. Now, my point is, like, I can show you some, there are certain AI-based websites which can really show you in live conditions that how many ICS are compromised right now. If you go to shodan.io and you just search for ICS, you will find many, even ICS that are in India that are not secure. Right? And there's a concept called, you must have heard about it, harvest now, decrypt later. So trust me, around many of the systems that we are using in our power plants and our many organizations or many states that are against us would already be having APTs in our systems, that is advanced persistent threats, and they are, taking our data. We have proper encryption. We are not able to encrypt them, but we are waiting for the right time to decrypt it and attack when the opportunity comes. And there comes the technology that I was talking about that we have been missing. Can anyone make a guess? Quantum computing. And in fact, our government is extremely serious on that front. By 2026, we will have protocols and we will have an ecosystem of algorithms which can help us defend in those scenarios against those quantum threats. So we will have QPTs, you will have protocols, we have already designed them, and by 2026, we will be running that, and industry will start adopting them. But are we as state GenCos or transmission, and are we ready for that? That is a question we need to look into. And any cybersecurity aspect, see, I'm focusing more on cybersecurity because we've already spoken a lot about IT-OT integration and the centralized monitoring systems and all. We have already heard a lot about it, and there's nothing much to discuss on that. So I just skipped past a lot of things, and there's no point getting into technical details about it. But cybersecurity, we need to address it from the point of people, person, and technology. And one aspect, cybersecurity or any form of security is as weak as its weakest link, and that is the human part. So these guys, the sponsored actors who are trying to sneak into our systems, they will use our behavioral analysis, right? For IT systems, it's pretty easy, straightforward. You are interested in trading, they'll send you a mail, okay, boss, here's some tool that gets you free fetch data, and we have some, nice indicators to get you profitable trades, and you'll just click on that link. That's a simple bait. But now the things are getting quite sophisticated. Like, for example, I don't know if Intel used to produce chips, so they had one software which almost every computer, most of the computers are using Intel chips, right? So they had one software installed in their chips through which you could just, log onto their website, just put in your data, and they will be able to send you a support and patch there and then, online. And that system got compromised. And now just imagine the scale of damage that would have done worldwide. Right? So these things are so persistent. Then we have very simple attacks like browser attack. It's quite simple. Earlier, they used to you get a mail in a browser, then you have another, you must have seen a mail in which you are asked to log in live.microsoft.go to update this patch or something, right? So earlier, they used to have an image of the link. Now they have real links. So when you will be clicking on that, you will be actually landing up on the Microsoft site, and you will be entering your credentials. So whatever you are working on real website, but you are not working on your browser. That second browser in browser, was embedded in your browser, but that embedded browser was in an iframe that was running on the hacker's machine. And they will copy your cookies sessions, and then they can remain logged in your system for 1 year. So what my point was, that we need to sensitize our resources, company people, across levels. I said sensitized, we don't need a very strong technical training, but at least basic training, how things work. And when we talk about IT, OT integration, and we talk about the latest technologies the vendors are providing us, right? All the fanciful terms that we hear about. But how do we implement it? If you're talking about implementation, it is not just we just cannot be dependent on vendor to do everything. We have to be ourselves at least basic knowledge of how things work. I'll give you an example. I was attending a seminar, a presentation by a firm, which was a Make in India firm, and it was giving about predictive analytics or performance optimization based on condensed vacuum. So they told me like, okay, boss, we have had, they told the committee that we have collected 5 years of data, and based on we ran, we applied this data on, he named at least 10 to 15 algorithms, the machine learning algorithms, and then we selected the best one. Now, from my point of view, the minute he says like, okay, I took 5 years of data, and so what questions should come to my mind? What about the data pre-processing? For different machine learning algorithms, you have different preconditions. Sure. So sensitization and knowledge, knowledge transfer. We have I3C Hub in IIT Kanpur. We have very good programs even by government. We have Karmyogi app. So we should be focusing, and we should make sure that our resources are sensitized about not only cybersecurity, but also about the latest trends that are in the market right now. Okay? Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Singh, for an interesting presentation and the session. We will now take the questions from the audience. Any questions from the middle column? Okay. Any questions on my left-hand side? Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. My question is to Suraj Dhiman, sir, and Aditya Bhatt, sir. For centralized data monitoring system, it is very good that all data and important parameters are showing at the corporate office. But being a maintenance engineer, whenever the tripping occurs at the power plant, we have to check the lots of events and analyze the graph. Then troubleshoot that thing, and clearance given to the operation team that your plant is now ready to take on the bar. Then I think real troubleshooting is done at the power plant level. Then why for data monitoring we have to keep that OT system at the keeping by internet and increase the cyber security risk to increase vulnerability of the power plant?
Thanks for the question. The point comes is, the person who's at the plant, it might be his first plant, 5 years experience. The person who's at the corporate office, he has put in 30 years, seen a Pelton, a Francis, Kaplan, different, because we as NHPC, we got BHL, we got Endrets, we Elstorm, Quener, we got different machines. All of them have got different designs. The issues which if I am a BHL, I've worked in BHL machines, I will not be able to understand an Endrets, G and Voith machines. They are different. So if a person from a BHL goes to a G machine, he will not be able to understand his designs. Those designs are different. But how will he work? He'll work as a BHL. He'll work as a BHL machine. So once that any issue comes to the table, and if there are 5-6 brains working on it, you will always have the decision which will be there, will be thoroughly, it will be scrutinized. Then only you will take a decision. Say if a circuit breaker has to be again to be energized. If you do not analyze it properly, transformer is gone, your machine is gone, your asset is lost. Once an asset is lost in a remote area, it cannot come for 1 year. The revenue losses are so huge. So now the time has come, and plus, if a person has worked in a machine and he's got that experience, because if you are in a plant, say for 5 years, the experience which you gain are very limited. The next person which comes for another 5 years, the experience which will have a 5-year-old machine working on it, that experience is different. Any person working for 20 years on a machine, he'll have some other experiences because the breakdowns of the equipments are on a different range. 5 years, these breaks, on 10 years, these break, on 15 years, these break. So what we want as an organization is whatever skill set you have, whatever know-how you have, should be pooled at one point. So whenever you take a decision on restoration, it should be scrutinized and it should be thorough. Not a single person should be left out of the system who has a know-how and cannot deliver at that point of time. There is an issue that person who's working at site, because VARs are very remote. So he always feels that this belongs to me and nobody else has gotten, nobody else has accountability. I am the only one accountability and I am the only responsible. I should not take decisions from somewhere else. Fine, it definitely happens. But in the interest of the whole corporation, it is beneficial that the pool of experts plus his own know-how, what he is judging and seeing, should be transmitted to them and they take a call. I hope I have made your point clear.
By doing so, we are increasing the cybersecurity risk.
The issue is, fine, in 80s we only had 3 plants. We had Salal, we had at Barasul and Tanakpur, 3 plants. There was no much requirement in the grid also. There was an outage, there was no requirement of the machines to be again spin. There was no such requirement. So, okay, the person used to come the next morning, he used to see, by the evening he used to roll the machine. That is, I'm talking about 80s. Then we started off. No, it is not like this.
We'll take the next question, please.
Yes, sir. I am A.B. Prajapati from GSECL, Executive Engineer. I have 2 questions, one for Suraj sir and second for Mr. Aditya and Sudip. Sir, you have mentioned AGC in your presentation. My question is, we all are knowing that we are going toward the one nation, one grid. So is it safe for our generator, turbine? AGC is safe for this concept? Our second question for, we all are go toward load curtain in thermal power plant due to RF penetration since long time. It is very painful for us. So my question is, how IT/OT is helpful for flexible operation for thermal power plant?
I'll take up the AGC question. The issue is that if you go to the CRC guidelines and all, the overload portion belongs to the grid. The generator can go up to 100%. The overall 10% belongs to the grid. You have to keep it free all the time to support the grid in case of any eventuality. So that is the provision for which AGC has come into picture. And then wherever the governors are fast, so those governors, they get the command, and the generator, the load is increased or decreased depending upon the command, and it works very well. And what it helps in a way that you do not have to increase the capacities. Otherwise, you have to increase the capacities for those peaking requirements. So what it does is, whatever your 10% overload capacity is there, which is for the grid uses it at the point when it is required. So it is very beneficial and it works very well. Okay. Your governor should be fast enough for that response, because its commands are very fast. And the second one Bhatt will take it up.
For flexible operation, it is now mandatory, not the basically required for the grid operation. We are seeing the maximum ramp up, ramp down. So flexible operation is required, and as per CEA guidelines or MOP notification, that each and every power plant has to be reached to 40% of capacity for flexible operation. So for 800 megawatt, we are also giving as a pilot project, and they have provided schedule up to 2030 in phase manner that we should go for flexible operation. And use of IT/OT integration will always help, because we are in flexible operation. What is the main criteria is the tuning of the DCS control system, that we can optimize our performance and reach to the minimum level. That at what level, maybe 40% or 42%. That for reaching that level, the tuning is main. The DCS part is there. But for further assisting in fine tuning and providing the output as required, with stabilizing the material, the IT/OT will always help.
Any question from the middle column or on my right? We'll take one last question at the back. Yeah.
just want to add one.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
So you talked about one grid and one nation. So you were more concerned about, threats and all those things. So one more thing that I would like to suggest, like, for any incident, you should also have, I should say, forensic audit team. And you should have planned what to do in that case. Because if an incident occurs eventually, so you need to have evidences that are admissible in courts and which you can use against your insurance parties to claim your insurances, and also for prosecution, of course.
Okay.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Manoj. I am from Abjon. So I also second the thought from one of our colleague who said that operations, when we had a tripping or shutdown, it's primarily been a kind of an emergency situation at the control room, and most of the decision will be taken at the local level. While I'm saying that, I also heard from your side, whenever you're saying something will happen, you have a team who will review and react. So it is more of a reactive based approach, not a preventive based approach. So if you have a team who are experienced 30 years in working on various machines or a single machine for so many years, it would be more useful that they can prevent the tripping much before that. I also work on the power plant, not on the hydel side, but on a gas and coal base. So we understand before getting there, if I'm leading to a tripping condition, I have hardly 15 minutes to save that tripping, right? So how your centralized team is going to support that is the main question. And second thing is, like, if we are doing so much on the integration of various, so you have a remote location, and in Japan, you know that most of the gas-based power plant have been operated remotely. So if you have any plan to move into that direction, so that from the remote place also, you can operate with such a senior team you have at place. Second question is to Aditya on the digital twin. So I want to understand on the generation side, where most of the things are running on a daily basis in a very smooth and a stable manner, how you see a digital twin can support your day-to-day activities, because we won't see much of fluctuations or changes apart from the load which you said it can be increased or decreased.
Thank you,
Apart from
sir.
that, how it is going to support your generation plan. Thank you.
I'll take up the first question. So I myself have worked 20 years in underground power houses. So when I was on the other side, I had the same view which you had. So when I came to this side, in the corporate office side, then I realized, no. So what normally happens is, what I'm talking about, you can have a predictive, you can stop the machine. We are talking about the point when the machine is tripped. So it normally does. So I'm still of that view that yes, people, because whenever a machine trips, there are around 10 ways to restore it. There are 10 ways. So what you do is you do the first, so what you want that the first time you do it should be right. So once you want to do it the first time the right, then you need around 5-6 thoughts. The single thought cannot hit the button the first time. So what we have seen is, if you have 5-6, we have gone through this experience. So whenever we have taken 5-6 people, everyone comes with a solution, says this is right, this is right, this is right. Then we say no, fine, we should work like this. And then all that team comes to a single solution and we work on it. We have seen that this thing works. There's no. And second point is about the working like a plant without, with the no manned plants. They do not work in Himalayas. So what happens for hydro, I'm saying, they do not work because there's so much of silt. You just cannot run these power stations without manning them. They are good for Thames, Alps, where there's no silt, the water is so clear. So that is in our Narmada also, it's very clear. So you can run them without manning. But in Himalayas, you cannot run these hydropower plants without manning.
We'll take thoughts of Mr. Bhatt and Mr. Singh on digital twins for thermal power plants.
For digital twin, we are in under progress for that. Basically, we are planning for AI analytics with digital twin. That with the many flexible operation and many fluctuations are there. So we can predict the future specific to the every asset that we are working on it. With changes in flexible operation, the turbine conditions are changed frequently. for gas-based especially and for thermal plants also, it is very crucial to monitor. For asset management with digital twin, also with AI analytics, it is benefited. With we can predict a failure within a month or within 2 months, or with every change in vibration monitoring system or condition-based monitoring. It's all connected and we can monitor through this. So I think
Mr.
it's
Singh, any
good.
thoughts?
So your question was about day-to-day fluctuations. I'd like to differ on that a bit because for digital swings, if you are doing predictive analytics, what we will ideally do is we'll take all the parameters and those enthalpies and mass flows, and we'll represent them into some mathematical functions. And then we have that mathematical function, so ideal state mathematical function that is expected performance. And then we validate it, tune it, of course. We'll tune it first according to the design parameters, and then we'll validate it against our past historical data. And then on the running conditions, when the deviation occurs, so when a threshold crosses, then we consult the implementing consultant to provide a solution. So the experts come into there. So it's just a guiding kind of a tool. So the expert decisions will come from us or the experts who will tell us what to do in this scenario to optimize the performance.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr.
And that would be realized into, I can say, monthly basis. Monthly level, we can have metrics. So what is the realization in terms of money saved and performance optimized?
Thank you, Mr. Singh. With that, we also come to the close of this track. Thank you, Mr. Dhiman, Mr. Bhatt, and Mr. Singh for joining us today.